Luffy informs the outer naval wing. I'm Monkey D. Luffy, who's going to be the Pirate King. Now our gang is shaking hands with Vegapunk. If you want to spend your whole life, all the ships have to leave. Immediately, the Navy proved quite astounded. Luffy dared to say this, that he's more savage than Morgan's rumored. Vivi and Waipon are eavesdropping on that conversation, should also panic, no less. The 5 elves tried to question Luffy about the situation inside SH. The enemy answered innocently as always. Fortunately, his teammates stopped him. At the right time, however, St. Jupiter recognized Robin's voice in time. On the other end of the line, Saturn orders his men to protect 3 things. That's because Pangu, God, and the fusion reactor that built the prototype weapon. The rest is to erase everything without leaving a trace. About the job, Lucy and Cypher Bone are trapped inside Exo. Saturn doesn't care too much. For the old man's life, it's no different than insects. If you die, there will be another name. This made the scarred Vice Admiral a little scary. The job is still here. Pretty lying, Dad. Hong, with a straw hat because he had 5 elves on his back. As a result, Nami knocked on her head. You bark a little dog. Jojo stopped, but the pilot still won't stop. Robin is also a bit of a... Close and Chopper bandaged the wound. The girls' thanks. It made the president very happy. Dr. Vegapunk is also very grateful to Robin. If you don't show up in time, maybe he died. While fleeing from the movie Caesar, Robin's group was aided by Kaku. I have to fight 2 at the same time. He was seriously injured. In the end, Jojo was the one who took them down. Lilith wept because Sokka and Patago had died. It's really hard to accept, no matter what the outside situation is. Luffy and Bonnie, still devouring the food Sanji served. Lucy, on the other hand, is hiding, sending information inside out for the Navy, without letting Kaku know. Then, Usopp begins contact with Cypher Pole agents. In the basement, ask Han about the situation. They've been fed by Straw Hats. So I'm very grateful. I'm begging the whole group to get me off this island. Usopp flatly refused to their request. Even though the 2 sides are still enemies, the movie is also here, and it's controlled by bubble balls. It's based on Max BA's shields, and there's more sea rock energy. It should be a weapon, effective with capable AIs. Devil Fruit Vice name. Appreciate Snack for taking control of you. Even though she was a very unpleasant child before. Vegapunk feels strange, because he didn't program Snack to do that. Come out before, Luffy thought the movie in front of him was Bohan, so I prayed to him to heal my comrades. This confused her and she listened to me. You're a little gritty. Jinbei laughed out loud. That SNK is Hancock's perfect SAO. She's always seen men as trash. Luffy is different. It's funny that the movie is based on her. I also have feelings for Vegapunk. Cho, it's a genetic factor in making the SAO. When Lilith is dissolved by S next, she lent Nami a bubble gun. Thanks to that, Hoa Pepper Straw Hat Ice, I can watch the movie at the same time. It was Nami who saved Sanji. When Guy has trouble with Seiza movie, Ed Shack Luffy continues to thank the film Seiza, make her blush shy. Meanwhile, Atlas realized that the communication system is working again, but the pole arch still can't open. Turns out Jock used a password to disable everything. Of course, she'll never reveal what it is. This made Lilith very upset. Dirty traitor. You're really driving me crazy. The sergeant estimated that the enemy had 100 ships, war, and 30,000 soldiers. Looks like they're going to play all hands. Vegapunk to Nami. Let's see what the team's next journey is. Based on the compass, the next island is the ice cap. Straw set foot to maybe Elbaf. To hear this news, Luffy and Usopp open their mouths in joy. They both sing together shoulder to shoulder. They have long dreamed of going to the island, of giants to adventure, and discover. Sartucci noticed that Lucy was still staring at him, and she asked him to stop. See, the journalist was quite bitter about being bitten before. Then Vegapunk drew up an escape plan. He's going to use the Vegafox one, carrying the Sunny over the enemy fleet. Next to Frankie, we'll use Sunny's emergency exit system, throw them all straight into the sky. The enemy will not be able to catch up if we fly a whole kilometer. For the time being, this plan is quite unsustainable, but first we have to deactivate the pole arch. That's the BA version. Vegapunk's smartest plunge into computer use. To hack passwords, that job. Created. Then the doctor entrusted Vega Fork 1 to Lilith. She ran outside with Luffy. For Zenki and Bonnie, Lilith was excited. For the first time leaving this island, Luffy and Bonnie are sorry. Because the food here is delicious, Bonnie was much happier than she had been at the beginning. That surprised Luffy a little. It's not about killing Vegapunk anymore. Make Bonnie feel better than ever. Now the Navy knows the situation inside, through Lucy's secret. They realized Luffy was just pretending to have the upper hand. They are in fact worried about fever. Satan wants Kia. You've infiltrated the island with the power of light. In spite of the strength to do so, but the Admiral, a little hesitant to confront his acquaintances. If we attack now, then Sentomaru will command. For the Pacifista and the seafood to sink. The warships, 7 would be huge. Satan hugs his head because everything is going well. Difficult to solve. On the other side, Lucy, I have sent all the necessary information to Karazu. The Navy is in combat position. They'll attack anytime Karazu orders. The vice capitals, the governor began to deploy the position to his subordinates, make sure that the Navy will always have the upper hand. Meanwhile, Luffy is still playing with the clouds, just like the island. The group also made it to the Sunny and Vega Fox 1. Now Kizaru uses the rays. Move yourself inwards. S.H. Sentomasu recognized the appearance of his uncle. He ordered all the pacifistas to destroy the enemy. When Razu, run towards your brother, and unleashed a powerful shot. The guy with the axe, they are confident in their defensive abilities. Body should raise 2 hands to support that kick. This VA impact shook the island of the future. Luffy's face immediately discolored and sweating. Because of you, discovered that there was a very strong man who set foot on SH. Sentomaru and Kizaru are punching and kicking each other. The guy with the axe has proven its formidable defensive capabilities before the powerful light kicks of the capital. Golden Monkey Governor. The coast outside SH is currently extremely chaotic. Dodokizu invasion of the island. It could be the opening shot. Listen on command of Sentomazu. The pacifista Max BA continuously shoots out the laser, attack the Navy, and they also protested violently. VA screen touch has caused 7 quite large damage to both sides. To gain the upper hand, 5 vice admirals stormed out. Their goal is to defeat the pacifista and rescue the agents that are being held inside the island. Now the monsters are dancing. Gas is also starting to act by biting the cars of the battleships. They've caused countless naval ships to be hit, sinking into the sea. See this scene? A vice admiral threw out his fist, superpower into the monster. The other vice admirals, I don't want to leave Pacifica alone, so rush to counterattack. Even so, they're unforgiving. Inside the lab, members of the Ice Cap, Straw is watching the fight through the screen. Through transmission, the situation is extremely difficult. Vegapunk didn't expect it to happen so soon. However, Sentoma was in command of a mighty pacifista fleet. That SH's defense system is compromised. It's impossible. He's almost in control of the pacifista. Max BA highest, just behind the doctor and 5 elves. The Straw Hats were surprised that Kiradu was here. See, this time they're actually dealing with an admiral. The dark memories. In Saudi Arabia 2 years ago, he was a bit obsessed. Vegapunk feels guilty for pushing the Sentomaru. In the situation as it is, this is really cruel. If he chooses to run away, you will completely understand Cho. However, Sentomaru did not do that. He decided to stop the monkey's intrusion. The resulting gold is kicked. The light flew out a long way. Kizaru continuous request. Sentomaru surrenders? Because you can't fight him. It doesn't stop there. Kizaru, continue to use the technique 8-chain Quinchngok shot out series laser. Death to my brother? Stupid to see that. Sentomaru had no choice but to escape. He also said that he would not surrender. For promising Luffy, Straw Hat and Sentomaru ran to his axe. Then he tried to counterattack Kizaru with it. The Admiral couldn't believe it, and now he's in league with the pirates. Sentomaru jump into the air. Avoid all damage. Then he attacked Kizaru with his mace. He owes the old man a life. I'll do anything to keep him safe. Axe of Sentoma even cut off the Golden Monkey Admirals. But that's not the point. Because of the Lauzia system capability, to give him the ability to regenerate his body, both recollect the beautiful memories years ago when we first met. The Navy received a report that have a condition. Wild bears attack a village on some island. Vegapunk and Karazu decided to watch. Both were very surprised when you see a boy who's done a good job with those wild bears. It was Kentamaru as a child. There are violent acts. They were chased away by the villagers. Then Sentomaru wants to be working for Vegapunk. As long as you get paid, the doctor was quite interested in Sentomaru. Ask him what he needs the money for. Sentomaru replied that he would use it to buy rice balls. With a covetous expression, this made Kizaru laugh. The Admiral found the Sentomaru so cute back then. I love you so much. Then, Vegapunk has received Sentomaru as his personal bodyguard. It makes you very happy. Time goes by. Sentomaru keeps looking for Karazu. I asked my uncle to teach me how to be a bodyguard. Karazu has told me to love you. I can't believe you two are now, we have to confront each other like this. Back to the present, Sentoma even threw a head in his uncle's face. The Admiral admitted that the guy's defense, really not inferior to any AI. However, Kizaru had to shoot the laser to end this unwanted war. That strategy destroyed a large area. Of course, Sentomaru was involved and officially defeated. Kirazu is holding the authority chip. That means we can order the pacifista. When Sentomazu has fallen, immediately the monkey admiral order the robots to change their original plans. It's protecting the ships and destroying the sea animals, and so the war outside the island, it also ends when there is no defense. Holy Satan, it feels like a waste to do that. He also requested the staff must constantly update the situation. Casualties, on the other hand, straw hat bandages were shuffling when the Sentomaru was down, extremely fast. Vegapunk cried for the bodyguard. But what we need to do now is coding the defense system, so the doctor had to put his sadness aside. Don't waste your time, Sentoma? The bridge to help them. Joker's desire to laugh with his eyes. Don't forget I'm also one of the Vegapunk. Oh, this is an asshole, it's not cute. Vegapunk says that Kizaru is the light, so it can penetrate the laser barrier at any time. This made Usopp very surprised and scared. Last year he almost wiped out our gang. Kiradu looked at the Capital's lab. Director, I remember the memories between me and the ice, Straw Hat. And then he transformed himself into light. Jump up so high. Vegapunk didn't want to fight him, so once the fence comes down, must withdraw immediately. Luffy's team is inside Vega Fox 1, controlled by Lilith. They're carrying the Sunny out the back of the island to be able to escape as originally planned, but in this situation, you and Bonnie, still eating like nothing happened. Then, Lilith discovered that someone had crossed the pole arch. 3 things not to touch. Is the Fang's power base? God and job as if without touching old friends. Is it better? The elimination of Vegapunk. That's the #1 priority on this mission. The Kyaju's penetration into the pole dome caused Usopp more worried, constantly calling on Luffy. Come back before it's too late. The situation is grim. If the boat is not in the right place, the removal of the barrier, it's definitely useless. The enemy will hit the SH immediately. Suddenly, Stussy realized there was something wrong here. Then the newspaper. Lucy plans to betray and assassinate Vegapunk, not thinking about anything. Many women have covered themselves for the doctor. The result is, Stussy was poked, gagged, and fell to the ground. This is something that can't be predicted. Who would have expected the conservative to play such a cowardly game? The spy had the intention to betray. Sanji takes the bubble gun from Nami's hand. And then we got the bedridden Kaku back. You can stop playing games like this, remember. Jojo, on the other hand, pulled out his sword to slash Lucy. However, he quickly stopped that lightning attack. Then you have to wait for a chance to find out. Lucy insists that once Kizaru is here, he would have done well with the hats. Out of the way, Jojo had to push the reporter out of the lab to be able to fight more comfortably. Looks like you're looking down on my gang. Kizaru had already chased the Vega Fox 1. For Zenki didn't know how to fight the Admiral. Lightout made SAO. Turn around and you'll never see me again. Turns out you've been sneaking out to confront the monkey. Gold haven't seen you in a long time. Luffy rushed to greet Kizaru with a strong kick. The Admiral raised his hands to support him. You're lying as always, Straw Hat. Luffy confirmed the answer. We're 100 times stronger than we were 2 years ago. Just worry about preparing the coffin. It begins with a scene at Margin Joy, former 7 View High. Kuma has climbed to the top and is causing a commotion. The Holy Land of Dragons. Order your subordinates to control Kuma, though bound by chains. But Kuma is still famous. He stood before the helplessness of the soldiers. He's obviously trying to get somewhere, but not this holy place. Right after that, Kuma used his strongest technique. Blow away those who stand in the way. Now a character, the familiar stood out to stop Kuma's attack. It's no other AI than Admiral Akainu. He asked Kuma what he was doing here. Before that was a revolutionary raid. And now Kuma. This is becoming a historic event of destruction. The dragons stomped on the soldiers. Then talked to Akainu. This is the first time this has happened. The food warehouse was destroyed. What do we put in our mouths? Another dragon. Complaining about being hurt by Kuma. He ordered Akainu to deal with it immediately. The former 7 View High? The Admiral said a few words before the final act. Kuma, if we can't control you, there is no reason for an individual to be dangerous. As you are free, the mind that is no more is no different than the dead. I said that Akainu threw out his fist. The lava blew out half the face of the enemy. He was quite surprised that there was blood in his body, Kuma pouring out. Suddenly, Kuma tried to run away from Akanu. His left leg was also melted by the lava, thanks to the power of the devil fruit, that the former Vuhai moved himself to go somewhere Akainu recalled about 2 years ago. When you catch a girl, Kuma's Bonnie, the red dog told her, no matter how you do it, it can't bring Kuma back, because he himself was volunteering to become a combat weapon. Bonnie doesn't believe this. There's no way my father would volunteer to do that. Akainu. It was difficult to understand when it was clear that Kuma had lost his mind, but you can still act on your own. Back to the battlefield, SH. The Navy now is prevailing when it comes to gaining control. Pacifica Maxpia. It's thanks to it that the beasts are weaponized. One by one they were destroyed and sank to the bottom of the sea. Currently, the Navy is in the process of taking the island SH. Dodokigadu is fighting right now. Fierce with Luffy in form. Snake Man he recognized. Luffy is definitely the one who defeated Kaido. Your house is awesome. But why did a pirate decide to protect the doctor? Vegapunk, who worked for the world government. Luffy also asked Kizaru a question. Why do you want to assassinate the Apple Man? Your son's attack was quite intense, so Kizaru only knows how to hold hands. Then the Admiral. Yellow Monkey transformed into light. Fly high into the air. I can no longer see the body. This makes me wonder a lot. I don't know what the Admiral is doing. Then he's gaining momentum to prepare to launch a blow. Attack hard, Kira. She replied to Luffy that, I didn't want to kill Vegapunk. Because you've known each other for a long time. That's why. I hope Luffy doesn't have Chen on this mission. Kira launches herself back to the Egg Island. They say that speed is power. He responded to Luffy with a light kick. My power. He flew to Vegafoxone's place. Kira recalled that Vegafoxone is a robot. Giant in a dream. I can't stop myself. So Luffy crashed into the robot. It's broken in two. Not only that, you've even been blown to the pole arch. Make a big explosion. Vegafox won. It's broken so Frankie and Bonnie fall outside. Fortunately, the earth is made of clouds, so the Sunny wasn't much damaged. Lilith panicked. Tell Frankie and Bonnie to get out of it. Immediately, Vegafox 1 explodes. The inability of the BA, they feel sorry for a horse. Such a modern machine. He was angry at Kizaru's actions, for Zenki turned out to curse the Yellow Monkey Admiral. He was surprised that Bonnie had grown up. Do you have an aversion to Vegapunk right now? We're under orders to assassinate him. Bonnie replied that, my own goal has changed. He used a weapon to attack Kizaru. You can't touch the light. Because his body is fast, Kizaru counterattacked with a shot that made Bonnie fly into the dome, extremely identical to Luffy. Virgo expressed outrage at Kizaru's actions. Raise your hand to shoot the laser? But suddenly he's gone nowhere. Lilith realizes that SAO owner may be in danger. So very worried, that is, the Iron Man tried to contact the command room to report the current situation. Inside, Dr. Vegapunk encrypted the code that Job created. This made her very unhappy. Vegas Pang told Franchi that the barrier can now be turned off. Did they bring Vegafox 1 and Sunny Raw to SAO Island? Who suspected Kizaru had appeared from behind, claims Vegas Pang's escape plan is dead. The presence of the Admiral, it also makes AI startled. Kizaru says this is a difficult task, so he didn't want to prolong it too long. Electrocution of the dome pole for numbness. Luffy transforms into the White Warrior, laughing like a clown. You keep dancing in the clouds with the drum of freedom when Raju can't figure out what's going on. And suddenly, there's a giant hand, appeared and grabbed him. I saw this crazy scene, everyone's eyes around simultaneously. Back to the outside, Kizaru was a little surprised by his new form. Turns out it's not just a rumor. Kizaru Job. Kicking Luffy flying into the pole arch made Luffy extremely bitter. So I came back to retaliate. The appearance of the sun god Nika suddenly made, let the ancient giant machine reactivate. He was very excited to have captured the Admiral. In a moment of light, your giant foot will kick, hit the teammates. Even though we're in a passive position, but Kizaru One's face changed a little. Know that you are in trouble. The Admiral just wanted me to hold my hand. No way, old man. Then Luffy pulls Kizaru out and started spinning around him like a pinwheel, playing boring opponents. Then you throw it with a lot of force. Kizaru out of the lab. Vega Gasketu Sop. Chopper and Atlas. I was so excited about the show. I saw the captain's new form. He suddenly seemed so happy. As usual, after playing with white prey, the warrior continued to dance with laughter. See that? The rest of us quickly withdrew before the The light director is back. You need to be careful with Robin and study. So, Edison went to get a stretcher to carry the two of them. This time Atlas decided to go downstairs to regain control of the Pacifista. If you don't do that, even the arches are open. The whole thing will be baked by Max BA's laser. No AI takes control higher than the Vegapunk. Just control the Pacifista. Victory will be at hand. On the other hand, through the tracking screen, Dr. Vegapunk saw Bonnie, are lost alone and trapped underneath. You also want to follow. Atlas went downstairs to rescue her. However, Usopp strongly opposed this idea. Because Vegapunk was the first target, it's silly to lose your life playing. The doctor doesn't care about himself anymore. Get in touch with Frankie. Ask the guy to run to help Chobani. Then Ra is still alive. After being Dododoki Radu kicked into the shield, Vega Fang blames the Iron Man because it's so easy to get the enemy on Bonnie. Frankie feels very guilty. I'll run to her right away. Sanji and Jinbei are on the second floor of the building. To arrange luggage, according to Dr. Vegapunk, they'll take the back exit and see you all there. On the other hand, after hearing that Bonnie was kicked by Kiradu, he was so angry that his whole body was on fire. It's unforgivable. That's why Sanji... He also wanted to rescue the beautiful pink-haired girl. The final decision of... Vegapunk is still storming out. He handed over control to Edison. Then we left with Atlas. For Zenki still feels very guilty. If you'd been faster, maybe Bonnie... There was no problem. Lilith then encouraged the Iron Man. It's no use worrying. Instead, it is better to act quickly. Let you worry about everything here. Regaining the confidence of the shipbuilder, Cap Tape, the straw rushed to support his ally. Lilith still can't believe it. Luffy could throw Dododoki Raju that far. Frankie, he was proud of his captain. Of course he'll never lose. It's underneath the factory. The Navy is looking for Bonnie. She's hiding somewhere, and ready to fight with the iron rod in your hand. Next to Bonnie, turn into a child. And suddenly they beat everyone up, one by one. In a child's state, her body was quickly relieved. So much for the Marines. Soon enough, they were possessed by her power. Supernova defeat. He was manipulated into a child. He was disguised as an 80-year-old. No more strength to take up arms. When too many people are defeated, the Navy is starting to be more wary of Bonnie. Cut off the enemy's tail, Bonnie was in a hurry to hide. In a state of exhaustion and light construction, the Navy also discovered the Sentomaru in a blackened state. Before that, when it was... Kizaru rocks into the pole arch and falls freely below. It was Kentamaru who caught Bonnie. In a state of exhaustion, the guy tried to tell Bonnie to leave. Then it officially collapsed. Now, Bonnie doesn't know if she should keep running, until it's over or not. Back to the control room area. Jojo is looking for his enemy, Lucy's job. He was hiding in the bushes, transformed into a form of awakening, and then silently watching his prey, the Straw Hat Swordsman. Right after that, Lucy jumped from behind to raid him. And then we both jumped in, to fight a great earthquake. The fatal blow is not easy. Luffy was quite surprised to see Jojo. He's fighting the traitor. Both of them are now pretty close. Equally talented. He told Luffy to focus on Karazu. Let this traitor take care of you. Lucy's job scratching back and forth. But it doesn't scratch you. Check Zoro, given that Lucy's current level. It's long enough to rival the boat. Your chief, he feels the same way. But we beat the second in command of the Four Kingdoms. It's also worth it. The other side, Kira, even though they've been thrown out of the future island Sixak. But he's very casual. As it nearly fell to the sea, Kirazu pushed himself into the air. Next to review, I shoot out the rays. 8 chain Quin Ngok to SH. The whole body also ages into light. Then fly with it. Luffy felt a bit tied up in his eyes when I see the lights flying towards me. All of a sudden, those flashes of light suddenly turned into a series of clones. Kiraju made Luffy squint out in shock. Next, the clones use light to create the Tien tongue bar. Sword Van then simultaneously slashed at Luffy. The Cuckoo tried to dodge that lightning attack. But still the sword was grazed on the cheek. Luffy responded with a kick, down some light bodies. But that's not enough. All the same, he once again turned into a monster. Use his giant hand to pounce. Take the true identity of Kizaru's opponent. Easy to avoid. And run around on a Cuckoo's arm. Then Luffy puffed his mouth out a little hard. See if it works or not. But Kizaru's clones are too persistent. It doesn't work anyway. Luffy doesn't know who he is. So I ran up high. The clones immediately chase and get caught in his trap. Just waiting for that, Luffy quickly used the technique of rubber, take down all your bodies in one go. It seems to have solved the problem itself. Who suspected Luffy was the one trapped? Turns out, Kira, you snuck into the command room. And how long have you controlled Usopp? Luffy, I was surprised by the enemy playing a trick. Fortunately, Vegapunk is no longer here. B tried to intimidate the admiral. But he doesn't seem to care. More and more tight mouth. More about Usopp. Now the Doctor and Atlas are using a dedicated car. Vegapunk 08 ice tape down below. Sanji. He also clung to the car to accompany the two of them. I don't understand why my attitude is so bad. Vegapunk suddenly changed. The Doctor will not let the Navy touch any finger on Bonnie, and I won't let her die. Luffy was horrified when the old man, Apple's head peeked out. In and get out and lose your life. Detect the target. Kiradu threw Usopp on the ground, and then start aiming the laser at the Doctor. Atlas is extremely worried about being targeted. But Vegapunk SAO owner is determined not to change direction. Luffy immediately rushed out. Use your wide mouth to grab the laser. That death again temporarily saved Vegapunk a life. See this scene? Atlas and Sanji glowed out in surprise. The laser of death. Luffy swallowed it in his stomach, causing him to burn out. They were screaming in pain and shine light all over the country. Frankie is also attached to the car right now. He told Lilith that let's use the Steel General to carry the Sunny. Jump out of the giant egg. Vega immediately signaled for Edison to open part of the pole arch. Soldiers below. I quickly discovered the presence of the Doctor. Vegapunk immediately put the gun in the air, at the same time order them. Pacifista aimed at the target. I can see why the owner has reached out. Edison immediately turned back the pole arch fence. As soon as you get down below, Atlas shouted loudly. The Pacificas must obey the new order. It's about wiping out the entire Navy that's on this island. The Navy was shocked by the order. Atlas is launched. Soon after Pacifista turned his back and